My favorite spot at RISD is by the canal, by the auditorium, Market Square, that area.
Yeah, I miss Car House a lot. I really miss their food.
RISD Beach is also another spot that I used to just sit and chat with friends, just relax, enjoy the outside air.
My favorite spot tends to be the Met area.
I would say the nature lab, even if it's when you walk up to Car House and you pass the window where all the jellyfishes and seahorses are, and you're like, oh, it's so cute. It's our own little zoo.
On the 6th floor of Fletcher, 11, 12 at night.
Even a walk back from studio is therapeutic.
So my name is Nick.
And my name is Hannah Reinhardt.
Christopher Pakvialta.
Kevi Handley-Byrne.
Lindsay Moreau.
My name is Olivia.
Samira Najid.
Jiyun Chung.
Yvonne Maslanikov.
My name is Sophie Chen.
So I've had the same friend since the first day of class at RISD. So I kind of grew with my day one foundation year friends.
It's been quite tough because the entire family is just so close-knit and we depend a lot on the studios. So we need to have people to cry together, to laugh together, during the thesis especially.
So it happened at a time where people were still applying for internships and for jobs. So that added stress of just trying to move everything and trying to figure out what happens after we graduate.
Especially as a RISD community, to know that not only is everyone going through this.
We were all expecting the shutdown. We just weren't expecting it to sort of happen within 3 days notice.
But it still felt very much like a blur.
When it turned May, I saw the calendar and I could see all the marks for oh, when's the installation, when's the opening, and when my parents are coming. But that's evaporated. It's not the schedule that I will be going through.
It was very emotional, the last day in studio. We can't go back anymore.
You really feel those words. You don't know what you have until it's gone, especially now.
I haven't spoken to a single person who's not struggling with it all,
And oh, my cat's gonna.
All the teachers are very understanding.
I've had a lot of influential teachers that actually show that they care.
I was already getting used to the idea of uncertainty in the future. And this is just this kind of almost just gives it a name.
So I guess when I started, I thought that when I graduate, I will sort of have it figured out. And I know now that is not the case, nor should it be the end goal of graduating. I just want to keep making things, less so for the idea of a collection, for the idea of models, or for the idea of a runway. I just want to make things for myself and for my own use.
I was able to get more time for myself, which I necessarily didn't really have when I was in school.
When you're in an educational setting, it's you're working based on the restrictions of your classes and the restrictions of the assignments, but then it's in the transition from graduating, it's okay, well, how do I turn this into an actual practice?
I feel I've worked just endlessly, hours upon hours, without rest for the past 4 years. Right now, I'm just trying to use this time to really rest mentally and physically.
The class of 2020 is a very resilient class. I got this amazing sense of community, and I know that even afterwards, they'll always be bonded by not only this situation that happened, but also the memories that we have all created.
Even though we're apart, we're still in sync with each other because we're in this similar place.
A lot of the learning I did at RISD was not in the studio.
Because that we didn't get that storybook ending to our college experience, I think there's a lot more communication.
It gives me a lot of hope and makes me feel very proud.
Artists have such an important role now to sort of be witness to this moment in history.
I have learned how to understand perspectives that are really different from mine.
I think the way I've changed the most was that I became open to hearing new ideas.
And so I think in some ways I have changed, but I really think I've mainly just become more like myself.
Good morning, President Somerson.
Hello, Provost Kleinman.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's good. I'm going to sit a little more forward, I think.
Is it squared, Roseanne?
It's a little tilted, but it looks like a natural tilt.
Okay.
Let's get this show on the road.
Okay, yes. Kick it off.
Well, students, to you, today marks a powerful threshold, one that you have prepared for much of your life. Every year, this is a moment for profound reflection, to look at where you have come from, how hard you have worked to get to today, and what might lie ahead. But this year, with your entire world upended with little notice, you have had to test your verve and to dig deep to understand what truly matters in your work and for your future.
Students, this is one of those extraordinary moments when the arc of world events dramatically veer from its predictable path and you find yourself unanchored and facing entirely new conditions, forced to question things that previously went unexplored and explored areas that previously never forced themselves into your consciousness. You, class of 2020, together with many of the world's population, are forever marked by this experience. You have grown so much at RISD over the past 2 or 4 or even 5 years on campus, but I know that the past 8 weeks will eternally color and shape your memory.
These past weeks have certainly been extremely difficult ones. Perhaps for some of you, the most challenging experience in your lives. But I believe that in retrospective reflection, they will take on new meaning. You will see the evidence of the person that you have shaped through all your years at RISD, and you will leave with new capabilities that developed in part from being thrown into unexpected territory. You will emerge resilient and deeply empathetic, having experienced how you respond to the collective suffering that the pandemic has incited around the world. These traits are incredibly important in your journey toward personal empowerment as an artist.
Students, you have discovered strengths and skills and a fierce independence in your work and in your habits that are now part of your personhood. They will be there for you to draw upon when you need internal resources in difficult times.
There is a kind of super strength that results from a RISD education. This strength will only develop further as you become alumni. This is not the end of your RISD experience. This is the beginning of a new phase as you join the global network of over 30,000 RISD alumni. The world outside may undoubtedly feel daunting right now, and perhaps not the world you expected you would be entering into in your professional lives, but you are ready to take it on. And all of us here at RISD will support you as you do.
The class of 2020 has given RISD a gift for which generations of future art and design students will be grateful. You have shown that profound, riveting works of the creative imagination can flourish despite very dire privations. You have proven that the arts are urgently needed in times of human suffering, and that design of a more just, sustainable world is a project that can wait no more. You are the agents of change, and because of what you have experienced this semester, you know that you have the creativity, the resilience, the knowledge, and the experience to make a difference.
Students, as we celebrate you today, I also want to recognize the many people who helped you to reach this moment. Parents, a huge thank you for supporting your students to get to and through a RISD education, as well as to navigate the dramatic changes of the past few weeks. Faculty and staff, you have been incredible. So clearly dedicated to our students' intellectual and artistic development, success, and well-being. Graduate and undergraduate students, you have made it through an extraordinary journey, full of unexpected challenges and surprises.
I encourage you never to stop being a student. Keep asking, keep drawing, keep making, keep challenging yourself, and keep in touch with those classmates, faculty, staff, and friends who will be your extended RISD family for many years to come.
Congratulations, class of 2020. You are pioneers. You are intrepid explorers. You are artists, designers, and scholars. And now you are RISD alumni.
Let's do the student awards.
The Warren Family Social Engagement Award is presented to of a graduating student whose creativity, energy, care for others, and devotion to the greater good has made a significant difference in the RISD community. This year's recipient is Sophie Weston Chen, a designer and organizer who is committed to creating inclusive spaces and building strong, equitable communities. An architecture major, Sophie has made a tremendous impact at RISD and elsewhere through several socially engaged fellowships and leadership roles on campus, including as last year's president of our Student Alliance. She is an advocate and natural leader driven to work toward justice and to support people in becoming agents of change for themselves and others. And I just learned, Sophie, that you are the recipient of this award. I couldn't be more delighted. Sophie made a big difference from the student perspective in helping us to define our social equity and inclusion plan. And I've had the great pleasure of working informally with Sophie on her senior degree project. Sophie, congratulations.
The Stephen Mendelson Community Service Award is given to a senior who, through their energy, efforts, and devotion, has significantly contributed to the quality, diversity, and development of the community we share at RISD, while fulfilling the requirements of a quality education. This year's recipient is Ala Al-Salih. Originally from Damascus, Syria, Ala is a first-generation graduate whose passion for social justice has guided her service at RISD. As a cultural programmer, she established several meditation and prayer spaces on campus. And as co-curator of the exhibition, The Color of My Land, invited artists from around the world to create and share work about their home. Through her practice, Allah hopes not only to inspire, but also to give back to those who help her see the world in a new light.
Okay, Provost Kleinman, this is the moment. Are you ready?
I am ready, President Somerson.
Let's confer the degrees.
President Somerson, upon the recommendation of the faculty of Rhode Island School of Design, I have the honor of presenting candidates for the master's and bachelor's degrees.
With the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Rhode Island School of Design, I hereby confer the master's and bachelor's degrees with all the rights and privileges appropriate thereunto. Congratulations!
RISD graduating class of 2020.
Hello, RISD class of 2020.
Hi, RISD class of 2020.
I'm Shepard Fairey.
I'm Deborah Berke.
My name is John Key.
And I'm Wat Marcos.
I'm Brian Selznick.
Ilene Chaiken.
I'm David McCauley.
My name is Jing Wei.
I'm Gabrielle Bullock.
My name is Michael Malton.
My name is Roz Chast.
I am Brody Neal.
I'm Chris Buzelli.
I'm SooJin Buzelli.
My name is Korakrit Arunanondchai.
I'm Jenny Holzer.
I'm Janine Antoni.
Hi, this is Robert Richardson.
Hi, this is Gus Van Sant.
Sheltering in place here in Brooklyn, New York with Mr. Automaton.
RISD changed my life. It was very rigorous, it was intense, but I can't imagine how intense it's been for you to all have to deal with the intense workload and strains of RISD, the stresses, the competition, and then have COVID-19 on top of that. But one thing I'm confident of is that your problem-solving skills and your work ethic that you've developed while at RISD is gonna propel you through this, and you're gonna have the bragging rights of saying, we did everything that RISD demands, plus we survived COVID. That's like, I went to school in the snow, uphill both ways, times 1,000. So congratulations and keep rocking.
I remember my graduation from RISD fondly, and you will too. The world may be virtual at the moment, but you most certainly are not. You should be very proud of your hard work and accomplishments. And I want to wish each and every one of you the best of luck as you embark on this next journey.
It's been a crazy, tough year, but remember, you always have your talent and you always have your creativity, and that'll get you through everything.
RISD class of 2020.
This is certainly a strange and different time to be stepping out into the world, but as RISD graduates, each of you is poised to shape that world, interpret and understand it, transform it, and uplift it in ways as yet unpredictable but unique to your individual gifts honed by your RISD education. As you go forward, your time at RISD will speak to you and inform the work you do. No matter what path you take, it will shine light when you least expect it. It will remind and provoke and disrupt and challenge. I can't wait to see what you do with it. I look forward to seeing your new work, to walking in the spaces you create, to wearing you and listening to you and hearing about and reading you. And I hope to meet some of you. While this isn't a traditional commencement ceremony, it will be a memorable one. And RISD didn't raise you to be conventional.
Now 2020 has been a tough year right around the world. But rest assured you have begun life as a RISD alum and are joining a global network of talented individuals. You are well equipped with the creativity and the empathy that the world so desires. Believe in yourselves and support one another.
I graduated from RISD in 2009 from printmaking. When I graduated, then there was an economic crisis and things were quite hard. The most important thing I learned from RISD was that if you learn to be happy with yourself, know what your goals are, and know who your friends are, you can kind of keep going forever, you know? And eventually you will reach that goal if you allow the goals to grow with the world and with yourself. And yeah, things are difficult now for me and for everyone I know, and it's going to be for you guys, but you have to keep going. You have to keep growing. You have to allow the world to let you grow and not forget your goals. And you will get there to a place where you're happy.
I know this is not what you all expected for your graduation this year. Challenges and obstacles like this can be really daunting. Starting your career in these uncertain times can be really, really scary. I know you're all going to do amazingly well, and I wish you all the best of luck.
It's not an easy time for any of us. It's going to be particularly a difficult time for many of you. Some will move through with more ease than others, I suspect. But it's gonna be tough. It always has been tough. It took me nearly 10 years, a whole decade, to get out of school and get some work in this business. But you have to sustain faith and hope. I sympathize with you, for sure. I sympathize with all of us. Band together, and more than anything, please, have a strong belief in yourself. It's more important now than ever that circumstances are complex. Just believe in yourself.
And today, I invite you into the full breadth of your creative force. And I remind you what you've already learned. That it's generous to be creative, that you're gifted, and that creativity is your gift. That your creativity can heal. It is both fierce and tender. Creativity knows that vulnerability is strength. And creativity loves mystery. And these are mysterious times. But creativity washes away our numbness, and it asks us to be agile. Creativity calls us to our bigger selves, because creativity can change the world. So I'm here to thank you for dedicating yourself to living a creative life.
You're in an interesting situation. Here you are, supposedly graduating from Rhode Island School of Design. But there's been no graduation, no formal ceremony, no chance to let off steam, to celebrate with family and bankers all that you've accomplished over the last few years. It's got to be a little disarming, but I should tell you that anyone who graduates from RISD, anyone who graduates from college, especially these days, can't possibly have sort of one plan, especially from RISD, one plan that you have to follow as you move ahead. And under these circumstances, it's even more difficult, I would imagine, to have a sort of a set goal beyond the big things like trying to make a difference, trying to do good, trying to use your education, which has prepared you for surprises like this. I mean, political surprise, environmental surprise, health-related surprises. I mean, these are surprises that it would be difficult to anticipate and hard to know exactly how you're going to respond to. But I would suggest that under the circumstances, you take the rest of this time until things sort of settle down to officially allow yourself to procrastinate, to think about what it is you want to do. Because you've been prepared to tackle anything. In whatever discipline, through whatever art form, through whatever aspect of creativity, you've been basically prepared to put yourself in a position where you can design problems that you think you want to deal with, that you believe will make a difference and will ultimately reward you with some sort of not only financial, but personal satisfaction. This is an extraordinary opportunity. There is a silver lining to this mess, and I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take us to get through it, but that's how I would think about it. That's how I would encourage you to think about it. It's easy for me to say. I'm 73, you know? But I'm still trapped in my house and trapped in my studio. It's my favorite place to be trapped, but nonetheless. I think you're in good shape. And I think you should be positive even if you are frustrated. There's a lot to look forward to. You can make a difference.
I graduated in 2008 in illustration, and I had a really amazing experience at RISD. And I can't imagine what you're going through right now and how you're feeling, because this is obviously a less than ideal way of ending the semester after all of your hard work, and everything feels insane. But if it's any consolation, I barely remember my graduation day. I really just remember all of the things that led up to it, like all the late nights in studio and hanging out on the beach and by the canal, getting food on Thayer. So I guess I would urge you to try to stay focused on the positive things that have come out of your experience here and try to check in with each other and keep making work. And I guess I've always been proud to be a RISD kid because I feel like we're inherently very scrappy and resilient. So we're gonna get through it and just keep going. You're doing great.
You all have made it through RISD. We know how hard the program is, either the 4-year or the grad school program. So the hardest part is done.
At RISD, you've learned to interpret and form the world around us as few others can. If you go out and use what you've learned while you were at RISD about the world, but most importantly about yourself, no matter what the world seems like right now, you have a very, very bright future ahead of you. I can't wait to see what you make.
If I have anything to say, I know that you guys have spent the last 4 years critiquing, revising, and analyzing your work. And after you guys have now graduated, that will all continue. But I hope that today, and for a bit, you just stop. I hope you stop, you take a pause, and you look back at all that work. And rather than thinking of the things you would have changed and revised, you just look back at everything you've accomplished with pride. And I know that the America and the world, everything is just very crazy right now. But I hope you don't let the circumstances we're all in take away from your celebration, because you have accomplished something worthy of all the celebration and respect and admiration the world has to offer.
1,000 years ago, I graduated with an improbable degree in painting. You and yours have chosen wisely and well at RISD. Now please go forth and make things much better really fast.
My advice for you is that nobody knows what the hell's going on, and that youth is going to push culture forward, and you guys got that. You got incredible work ethics, incredible creativity, and youth. So in a lot of ways, you're in better. You have more of a grip maybe on what the future should hold than a lot of people that are at the forefront of culture now. So your moment is about to happen possibly way sooner than you would have ever expected. So within all of the terror and scariness of now, have some hope and have some belief that we need you to help push culture forward. So on that note, we're really excited for you, and we're really excited to have you out here in the post-college universe.
I know we are in a really hard time right now,
with a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fear. And to keep on the path that you are all on right now, this path of creativity, it will take a lot of strength and it will take a lot of courage. But as the cliche goes, we'll only see the light if we go through the tunnel. So I say to all of you, in the words of my 4-year-old daughter, be brave.
When I graduated in '75, we were told only 1 out of 10 of us would continue to make art. So, good luck.
I know this has been a really weird year for you guys. It's been a weird year for all of us. And congratulations on graduating. And the only message I have to you is that if you have something you really want to do with your artwork, stick to your guns. That's it.
I know that when I graduated, I felt so excited, but also really worried and scared. And I did not graduate during a global pandemic the way you are today. I imagine you're going to feel all of those emotions, the fear, the uncertainty, the anxiety, and it's going to be hard. But what I can tell you is that it's okay to feel that way and that you're going to need help. And so reach out, ask us for help. We're going to be here when you need it.
I graduated as an illustration major in 1988. The diploma we got that year was printed on a hammer. The joke was that we were getting a diploma we could actually use. To the class of 2020, the class of perfect vision, who have the distinct and very strange honor of being the first class in RISD history to graduate from the privacy of your own homes. When I graduated, I felt like I was walking into something vast and scary and unknown. Today, you are actually walking into something vast and scary and unknown. But the difference is the entire world is walking with you. We're doing it together. And we need to remember how lucky we are because we make art. Art is how we breathe as a species, how we tell stories, and find our way. So, here is your diploma. Use it to smash things down, use it to rebuild, and use it to make something beautiful.
So, welcome to the RISD alumni family.
Oh, and by the way, congratulations.
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 Congratulations.